Welcome to Who You Were with Patrick Noth and Sebastian Canelli. In each episode, we ask our guests to talk about a time in their life when they were significantly different.
No cuts.
I can't cut anything.
No edits.
I make so many mistakes.
If you edit it, if you cut it, I will call you out for fraud.
Oh my God! Well, thank God I have no internet presence.
Well, I'll call you out and I'll drag you in the street. Hashtag Sebastian.
No, you can't.
Sebastian's a fraud.
Honestly, you haven't really cut anything. You haven't cut anything of yours, really. Maybe once or twice.
I'm an authentic person.
Once or twice.
Well.
Yeah, once or twice.
You've cut your stuff, but then sometimes he'll be like, "Yo, we can't put," because I'll like go in on somebody specific, and then we can't put it in.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't put that in.
But not for me. Put it in.
Oh my God!
Here we go.
Drama.
This is dirty.
Welcome to Who You Were. My name is Patrick Noth.
Hi, I'm Sebastian Canelli. That's
And
my least favorite part of the podcast.
It's me too. I fucking hate this.
How do you say your name and make it sound cool?
I don't know. You know, you just say it.
All right, this is our guest,
Rachel Pegram.
Whoa! All right, that was fucking awesome.
So this is a podcast where we bring on a comedian and ask them to talk about a time in their life when they were significantly different. We're all very thrilled to have you. You would not let us credit you. You would not.
No, we are. We're about to, dude.
Okay.
Shut the fuck
Wow.
up.
Sebastian's going to credit us.
I usually introduce the guests, but
okay.
I want to hear how you say your name because it is a weird feeling, right?
Yes, to like say your own name.
Yes,
absolutely.
To say your own name. So you know her. She was in The Week Of. She played Chris Rock's daughter. You gotta check that shit out. I really, I love the movie. I actually cried until Adam Sandler did the stupid part where he played the grandma at the end.
But you know he had to.
You know that was
he
the
wanted
fucking
to.
contract.
He wanted to do a bit.
Of course, you
So
know
bad.
he's like, this movie's too serious.
Yes.
I gotta drop a stupid
Yes.
fucking me playing an old lady character
Yes.
in the end. You also seen her on Comedy Central. Thank you for joining us, Rachel.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
for
on the
having
show.
me.
Absolutely. Do you guys see Adam Sandler's Netflix special? I heard it's good.
I
haven't
just
watched
did.
it yet.
I actually loved it.
You did?
and I cried during that too.
Really? There's a cry moment in it?
Yeah, he sings a song to Chris Farley.
I heard.
Oh man.
And it was like pretty emotional. And I'm just also in that place where tears are dropping whenever they want.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm fucking Seattle right now. I am wet as a dog right now. Yo, call me Seattle. Yeah, I'm doing Lil Wayne jokes.
Jesus Christ.
Remember when Lil Wayne thought that rapping was just him making like puns?
Yes, and I was here for every
Yes,
moment of
absolutely.
I
He was in
loved
his
it
prime.
too.
He was in his prime with all those mixtapes too.
Did you listen to the new one? The Carter
I
Five?
can't.
I did,
I
but
feel bad.
I
wasn't
wasn't
good.
fully there for it.
I know Chance the Rapper was raving about it.
Really?
Oh.
So, but I didn't listen to it yet. So.
Okay, maybe I should listen to it. When he did that album with 2 Chainz, he was very bad on it. So I just stopped. I kind of distanced myself a little bit.
Yeah.
from him.
Yeah.
I love Lil Wayne though.
Ugh. 2000 whatever. He
Yeah.
was awesome.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
insane. Oh,
Like,
the prime.
fire. I was in
Yes.
college at
Like
that point.
a milli
Yes,
time.
yes,
fucking
yes.
insane.
I loved it. I went wild. Ugh. I was
That
also,
beat is so good. That guy never got paid for that beat.
Really?
Yeah, he never got paid for that. He never got
Whoa.
paid. He did that other one, 6 foot, 7 foot.
Yeah, that's so good.
Never got paid. Baby never
Damn.
paid him. Cash Money never paid him.
Why? How do you know this?
It's on the internet. Like he just does interviews about it. You know, they are notorious for
Wow.
not paying people. They just don't pay people.
That's so fucked up.
Isn't that crazy? I think
hate
it's like
that.
an industry standard thing.
To not pay people?
A lot of people just don't pay because
How does he make money then?
Yeah.
because he has a drop on it and he says his name, and so they're probably like, that's good enough. He'll get other work.
What's his name?
Whoa.
I forget.
It doesn't even work.
No, it doesn't.
The
It doesn't
fucking
even
system
work.
doesn't even work.
Did he get other work? We don't know.
I have no idea.
Good God.
He had to have. You know, there's some rich people that were like, my son or my daughter's going to be the next rapper. Let's
Yes.
get Swiss Beats or whatever.
Yeah.
Those, I bet you they make a ton of money from stuff like that.
That's where they make their bread and butter.
Yeah.
Oh my God, just from rich people making tracks. Like, what was her name? Rebecca?
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Black?
Friday?
Yes.
Yeah, Friday.
Yes.
You know what I was thinking? That must be a production company in LA, and I'm like, I got to do that in New
Yes.
York. I got to figure out how to do
You
that in New
really
York.
should.
I would make bank.
What do you mean, be a scumbag? Is that what you want to figure out?
No, just make write songs for like rich
for teens.
kids.
You're right. And honestly, I like the song Friday.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have to be bad.
What about that like 40-year-old who has a verse on it though? That's kind of weird.
That's strange. Wait, did you hear the one? What was it? There was Friday, and then also around the same time, it was like my jeans, like denim blue jeans.
I need
it was
to
like
hear that one.
even a younger girl, like with all of her friends and their little tweens, like for sure all 12 years old. And then there's also like a rap verse with like a 30-year-old black guy being like, yeah, she's really cool wearing her jeans. Like it's so strange.
Wait, did you ever see this one where it's a really young boy and it's Fetty Wap? What the fuck is that song? His biggest hit?
Yes, I have seen this one.
That's insane. It's crazy.
No.
It's completely insane.
I have seen that
Very
one.
high production value.
That guy does that little kid, he does soda tastings. Where he just sips soda and tells you what it tastes like.
He probably makes more money than all three of us combined.
YouTube culture is fucking bananas.
It's insane. It's fucking crazy.
Dang.
And also, like, they watch people, like, basically people go on there and, like, brag about money. And, like, people watch them and love it.
Yes.
It's crazy.
I get it. I'm jealous.
I mean, honestly, if I had a webcam in the prime of YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because I was young enough, like, when it was happening, that I absolutely would have been all over posting videos. I would have been a mess.
If you got in early, it's crazy. If you got in early.
Yeah.
Do you have a time in your life that you want to talk about?
Yeah. I mean, it's a big stretch, I feel.
Sure.
But I feel like I was very different from how I am. I mean, for a lot of my existence, I feel like I've been different than how I am now, but well, not entirely. I'm diverting.
Oh no. Her eyes were closed. She was freaking out, hands shaking.
It's too much for me. But I like grew up in Texas, and I grew up very like Christian and pretty like sheltered, and not like too sheltered, but just like there were certain like ways about how it's supposed to be. And I also went to Christian school, so like I went to an Episcopalian school when I was in elementary school, and then I went to like this Protestant Christian school in middle school, but then also went to church every Sunday. But I was essentially going to church like almost every day.
And youth group, it was one of those kinds of places.
So like when the school I went to in elementary school was like, you went to chapel every morning.
Right.
So Monday to Friday, you went to chapel for an hour before you go to school. And then I would go to like Bible study on Wednesday nights. And then I also did this like other Bible study group on Monday nights. And then on Sunday, I would also go to church. And then like there would be like other activities. Sometimes like the afternoon, you'd come back to church. And then like Saturday would be like choir rehearsal for church.
Right.
So it was like very much like involved in that for like birth to 18. And I think it wasn't until I got to high school and I finally decided after middle school that I couldn't continue going to Christian school as well, because it was also me combating the fact that there weren't people who wanted to see me as someone they wanted to date. It was like, because everyone was in middle school, it's like when you're in that time, and it was like not even a crush. And it was really devastating that like all of like, it was also very specific, like white men who I went to school with, because my schools were predominantly white, who were just like not gonna be interested and like saw it all as a joke and like weren't into me. And then like also the two black dudes at the school being like, we only date white girls. Yeah. So it was just like a very like aggressive like time of me just like getting like finally realizing that, I don't want this anymore, but not even having the words to articulate it.
And that was in high school?
That was in middle school.
Middle school. So where are you in Texas?
In Denton, Texas.
What does that mean? What is that place?
So Denton is a little north of Dallas, and it's like about 45 minutes if you take 35. And
nice. Now we're talking.
Here we go.
Highway talk. This is my fucking bread and butter.
45 minutes north of Dallas.
Nice. This is awesome.
What's the highway called? What's the highway called?
I-35.
Oh, yeah.
How many lanes we talking?
I-35, I think it fluctuates from being a 4-lane to a 6-lane.
Okay.
Whoa,
wow.
now we're talking,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Speed limit, what, 75, right?
No.
Car carpool lane, or what's going on with that?
There is an HOV lane.
You better believe it. 3+ or 2+?
It's 2+.
2+. Now we're talking.
It's pretty nice.
Here we go.
2+ is nice because a couple could go in the HOV
The
lane.
HOV lane is off and on helpful. That's what I'll say.
All right.
What are we talking about? A median, or are we just talking about a piece of concrete going through the middle of that
Yeah.
sucker?
Oh, there's a big piece of concrete.
All right.
Nice. I like this.
Here we go.
All right. Now we're talking. This is what we do. We get people out, we trick them, pretend we're going to talk about them, and then we go, what streets you live by? Tell me about your streets. But what the potholes?
Welcome back to Highway Talk.
Yeah, vroom, vroom, beep, beep. How you doing? Truck coming by. How you doing? My name's Sebastian. I talk highways. I talk streets.
All right, here I am. Beep, beep, boom, boom. My name's
Oh my God.
You know, I did a science project about potholes when I was in the 7th grade because I was obsessed with streets.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and I learned about the like how to prevent potholes because why they are created because is the heat makes it makes everything bigger, the molecules. And then in this winter, everything becomes smaller. So then the contract. I was so much smarter then.
Have you guys,
Science.
And then it creates potholes.
have you ever worked in Atlanta?
Yeah.
The pothole situation is insane.
Well, not with fucking Domino's. They're gonna fill every pothole if you buy a pizza. If you call them and be like, "Hey, there's a pothole on my street," they'll come, they'll fill it, and then they'll fucking bring you a pizza.
Domino's will?
Domino's.
And is that nationwide?
Nationwide is on your side.
No, those are two different. Now hold on. That's two different companies.
No, Nationwide is on your. They sing it at the end of it.
No, they don't. That's not a Domino's thing.
No.
All right.
It's like, yeah, that's strange.
Are we talking about like a big church, like a mega church situation?
No, I didn't go to a mega church. I went to it was like very black, and like it was just like the denomination of the church. So it's Protestant, but it was Kojic, which stands for Church of God in Christ.
Okay.
Which is a predominantly black denomination.
That's separate from the what is it? Church of Christ. That's a different thing, right?
Very different.
Yeah.
And was the town that you're from predominantly black or white?
Like part of the town, like where I first lived in town, Southeast Denton, is more like black and Latino, and then where I ended up moving, like the other part of town, was more like white,
Conservative.
all conservative.
Wow.
I would say across the
Sure.
board. Like I think like even the people like who went to my church, who were probably more, I don't know, they would probably vote more democratically.
Yes.
They were more conservative in their mindset and beliefs and views.
Right.
Sure. Smile, your mom chose life. Bumper stickers and shit like that.
Wait, what is it?
He said, "Smile,
Smile?
your mom chose life." I don't think
never
I've seen
seen
that
those?
one. No.
That's like anti-abortion bumper stickers.
Yeah, no, I think definitely stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah. I bought my sister, both of them, 2 of those bumper stickers for Christmas one year.
Oh my God.
As a joke.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
This is too much.
This is like really fucked up. That's what I'm learning.
Is it really?
No, I don't know.
I think my family was so liberal, we just thought, because you know what? Someone in our family had it. And we would always make fun. I should give the backstory before I'm just saying it.
Say it.
Before I'm just dropping
Say it
it.
and fix it later.
Every
That's what I
Christmas,
say.
we spent it across the street from a Planned Parenthood with these signs.
Oh my
No,
God.
there was someone in our family who had one of those, and we thought it was funny. So then that's why I got it. It was like an inside joke. I gotta tell context.
No. Wait, so the parish you went to, the church you went to was predominantly black, but the middle school you went to was predominantly white.
Yeah, the elementary school and middle school that I went to were both predominantly white. The elementary school I went to was Episcopalian, and then the middle school I went to was just like Christian, but like Protestant.
Gotcha. So I like to point out sometimes, you know how like that specific culture is always kind of like, they reject quote unquote legalism, right? They're like, it's all about, grace. They're like, Protestants are like, that specific culture, that type, like but everybody dresses the same. Everybody culturally does the same stuff. It's like literally there is legalism. Like people are following sort of like whatever the convention is, whatever everybody else is doing,
Do you know what legalism is? I don't.
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
So legalism is like a term that is applied to basically like rules. You know what I mean? Like rules it's like Orthodox Christianity would be considered legalistic, right? Because there's sacraments, there's different rules. Whereas like Protestantism, it's like if you say, not all Protestantism, but some Protestantism is like, if you say, I accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior, that's all you need to do, really. Is that fair to say?
Yes, yeah. But then there are still other rules outside of that.
Exactly.
Spoken or unspoken.
Unspoken rules all over the place,
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't
That's
know.
very
Sorry,
accurate.
I diverted a little bit.
No, please. That was smart, Patrick.
Thank you so much.
So then you were at church every day, and you believed. I don't know what you believe now, but at the moment you were like you believed in God.
All in.
Yeah.
All in. Your family was too.
Yes. And like in middle school especially, I think that's when like I started to have questions about things, and I like remember there was this like, which is also insane to think about. There was like a whole 2 days where we didn't do school, and like they had a preacher come in and like talk to the whole student body
For 2 days?
Yeah, like for 2 full days. It was like called something I can't remember, and it would like happen every year.
Holy shit.
And like this guy, his specific thing was like, this is why you should believe in God, because of these like exact like things in this book that I've written down, and it's like based on like history and blah blah blah. And it was just like it was presented in a very factual way,
right,
that like really like excited me, because up to that point there had never been anyone saying to me like, now here is how you can exactly like choose to believe God. It was always just very like faith, and you'll just believe, and like, and he is there. And it was like so appealing, and I bought all the books and I like read all of them, and I was like, yes, this is it.
What are we talking, C.S. Lewis?
No, it was like, what was his name? I can't remember now. But it was just like, it was all about these like manuscripts of like how many manuscripts there are of the Bible, and then like versus how many manuscripts they have for like the Odyssey and like other like old texts, and like showing that like, look, there's proof because there is so much like material of this written.
Is there something that you remember from that where you're like, oh, that is a pretty good point?
I mean, I remember like that specifically being like something that stuck out in my mind is like, oh, okay. So like if they have like this amount of text, like if there's that many things, then like perhaps this is like truth. Like I can believe that this is written, but also it can just mean that like a bunch of people wrote it down and like they shared it, and that's what was saved because it was sacred to people. So
those like books are called, I'm just telling Sebastian, those are called apologetics. And the one thing that stood out to me from doing it, Sebastian, I'm just going to tell you a couple things. The one thing that stood out.
You see how he talks down to me?
No.
You taking his side?
I didn't hear the talk down.
She didn't hear it.
Oh my God, you should have seen his face.
Sebastian, you have to go to the bathroom. You have to go.
I gotta go pee pee. Don't talk down to me. I gotta go big pee pee. Big pee pee, little pee pee.
But the one thing that I always walk away with is from like C.S. Lewis makes this point where he's like, usually when people fabricate something, like historically, it's for some type of gain. Mm-hmm. But literally there was no gain for Christianity until like the 4th century, basically, until Constantine converted. And that always fucked with me a little bit. Like I'm like, yeah, why the fuck would they do that if they didn't believe it? I guess they just believed it.
They just like believed it so wholeheartedly.
Yeah, for sure. So 2 whole days.
Yeah, of that. And then I was so inspired by it that I remember I wrote a sermon for children's church, or like for youth church day. So like, you know, like on Sundays, it would be like, sometimes there would be certain ones dedicated to different groups within the church. It was like Women's Day, and then you might wear red for Women's Day, and then you know, it's this. I don't know. I can't think of any of the days right now aside from Women's Day, and then when they did stuff for the children.
One day you got women get 1 day,
1 day a month.
1 day.
Really? Hey, that's pretty good for them. But like it was like youth service, and so like they would get like a young person to give the sermon, and like I remember I gave mine, and like no one like cared about like hearing about like the facts of the church.
Right.
I was just excited by it because I was like, isn't it cool that maybe we have something to like base our beliefs in? And they were just like, you're smart, we like that. And I was just like, no.
How old are you when you give that sermon?
I guess probably 12 or 13.
Wow.
So
a sermon that I did start, I just want to say, with Webster's Dictionary defines faith.
Fire!
So, it was good.
That sounds juicy.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. So you said you became a little disillusioned when culturally you felt it was weird and fucked up in middle school.
Yeah.
Well, even to be latching onto like I need facts.
Yeah.
Feels like you were probably questioning it at that point.
Yeah. But like I don't think I got into like full tilt question mode until I know exactly. It was the summer between my sophomore and junior year in college.
Okay.
Wow.
I remember that being when I was like, I need to know, I need people to like help me figure this out. If you don't help me now, I know that I'm not going to continue to believe this way if no one helps me. I remember that first summer I didn't really consider it. I was like working my first like jobs, and like I went home, and then I was working because I wanted to pay for an improv class at UCB.
All right.
And a big plug for UCB.
Yes,
but
they need that. They're fucking begging us. They're
Oh my
emailing
God.
us. They go,
Listen, I know. Courtney is asking me every day, can you plug UCB, please?
I know. I'm at the Starbucks. They go, what's your name? I go, UCB 101.
Honestly, went to improvisation the other day. Fantastic.
Oh my God.
Shots up. Fire.
That was a kid. That was a joke.
Yes.
That's a joke. I didn't go. Wait. But you didn't go to a Christian high school.
No.
You didn't. But so like you were still going to church every Sunday with your family and stuff like that. Cool. So and then summer of your sophomore year of college.
Yes. That I remember that specific summer was when I was like grappling with everything, and like I remember going home because I went home for a part of it, and I just was like asking questions, and I was like going to church, and I was like I was like sending emails to people I didn't know I got my mom on this other church that I liked better, which is kind of weird. She goes to it still now, because I didn't like going to my church anymore because like Kojic is like really messy and mixed up, and like I remember there's this like very specific moment I remember when I went to like this big conference that they do, and I was like the preacher was like talking about like people being gay, and he was like and he used like the F term for gay people, and it was like hard and it cut through me, and I like remember just thinking very viscerally, it was like, you would like, this is a room full of black people, and I was just like, you would never want like a bunch of white people to fucking call you the N-word and and then try to say, come and join us. Yeah. Like it would be like cutting you to your core, and it would gut you. It like removes your humanity. And like, I found it so, terrible. And I remember talking to my mom about it, being so mad, and I just like I didn't want to continue associating myself with that church, even though there's a lot of good people involved in it. I just think that like the way that they think about certain things is really harmful. And I say that because I was making a point about something else I was saying.
So you convinced your mom to go to this other church?
Convinced my mother to go to this other church that I was like, yes, you should go to this church, a church that I don't go to anymore. She loves it.
It was more progressive.
More progressive, but then also
sure,
in a turn.
Saying that word all the time.
Yeah, but they were more white, like, so it's tough. And like, she's like, one of the few black people or just people of color in general at that church.
Where'd you go to school?
Where did I go to school?
To college.
To college, to NYU.
To NYU. So you were
Alex Song's roommate.
Yes.
Oh, really?
We were randomly assigned
remember?
roommates.
I didn't know. I don't remember.
She talked about it in her episode.
I'm sure she did.
She
but
said,
I didn't know Rachel at that time. I just met Rachel.
Oh, okay.
Fair.
Fair.
Well, yeah, me and Alex were randomly assigned freshman year
That's
roommates.
awesome.
Yeah.
And yes, so a church, my mom, and so that summer I spent emailing a bunch of people at that church being like, can you help? Like, I need one of these groups. And like, they're just like, sorry, like the groups don't start till this time. Like, we won't be able to. It was just like a lot of like bureaucraticness of just like, no, we're not going to. And eventually I was just like, oh, I think I'm going to stop looking for answers. And I did.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you stop looking for answers in the sense that like on a daily basis you're not praying anymore or whatever, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was more like I'm gonna stop looking for a church. I'm gonna stop looking for like this to feel real to me.
Yeah.
And because I can't do it because like nothing was like felt good enough, nothing felt right enough, and no one was there to like tell me something I hadn't already heard.
Yeah. And also it's like if you have to work that hard to believe something, like it's like you probably didn't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say that like there are certain aspects of Christianity and just my upbringing in general that I do still resonate with and do still like feel like they're a part of me, but like I don't think I'd ever be as heavy as I was when I grew up because it just feels like it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Would you pray alone?
Yes. Growing up?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Like every night.
Every night in your room.
Uh-huh.
Would you like kneel next to your bed or?
Sometimes I was lazy
That's yeah.
You know, you just do an in bed.
Sure, that makes sense. It doesn't
prayer.
matter if you're kneeling or not,
No,
right? That's
who
some bullshit.
cares?
Bullshit like that, they gotta get rid of the church.
That's legalistic.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. You gotta kneel.
Yeah, I think it's just like a genuflecting kind of deal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
For God.
Wow. And so, can I ask questions about when you were in middle school?
Yes.
So at school, would you talk openly about like how you were, or like would you present and be like, I'm very Christian and this is who I am? And
yeah, and I don't think that was false.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially in middle school, I feel like it was just like very true. And also, I think it's tough because the culture of Texas is very Christian.
Right.
It is very conservative. So it's just like you assume everyone kind of comes from a at least vaguely religious background. I feel like almost everybody, like I didn't know anyone who didn't believe in God until I like got to high school and met like one kid who like proclaimed he was an atheist. But like everybody else was just like very like, this is what we believe. We all believe God exists, you know?
Wow.
Culturally, that's just the thing.
Yeah, it's just the norm.
That's so wild because in my culture, people went to church but fucking didn't care. It was just like a lot of Italian people where I'm from was like, yeah, we go to church, but then, you know, it's not about that, you know? It's about that we see the people there.
Right. Well, I think that's like a nice aspect of church is like the sense of community that it can bring. And I think that's like so beautiful. But I think the other things get in the way of some of that community building and the like kind of general kindness that I think that church should offer.
Yes. And is there anything else you said community you like about it? What else appeals to you about it? Still,
I mean, I really love the music of like gospel music is so good and like so like I still will like when I'm working sometimes just like play gospel music because it's inspirational and like even though it is all about God,
Well, don't listen to the words.
Yeah, or there's also just like something nice about thinking like there's something outside of myself saying that everything's going to be okay, like kind of like a very like universe, you know, believing in the like life outside of us that is like something is pulling us and it's like spiritual and nice in that way I think.
So there's still a spiritual element to your life, but it's not like you don't want to make it specific or culturally specific because that didn't work for you.
Yeah.
I have a question. Oh, no, actually, I was just going to say something because I wanted to be smart. The gospel musicians.
Oh my God.
Gospel musicians are like the best. They're all like this. All the greatest session players are all come from like a gospel background. Like the musicianship is incredible, like out of this world. Okay, do you guys think I'm smart now?
No, that wasn't smart at all.
Okay.
I think it is.
Yes.
How is that smart?
Okay,
how is that smart?
here's the thing.
That could have been a Snapple fact.
Here's the thing. Gospel musicians are incredible. I remember specifically the organ players. The organ players at my church.
Organ players, crazy.
Insane. And most of them played by ear. Could not even read sheet music.
Yes.
All played by ear. Could just start playing in the key you needed. People are singing. I don't know what that key is. They're playing it. They're following along. It's out of this world. They're just play me the song and I'll play it. And then they'll play it.
So I think that you're agreeing with Patrick's point, but you're not. There's nothing that he said that was smart.
I mean, what I mean by studio musicians is people who get hired to be hired gun session players.
I know a studio musician.
Yeah.
In college, I was hired. I was hired to be the cantor at the church in college.
You were hired?
I got a scholarship to sing at the church in college every Sunday.
Really?
But then I got fired because I showed up drunk.
Can you give us a little psalm right now? Can you give us a little psalm?
Glory to God in the highest. Sing glory to God.
All right.
Wow.
And I would stand there, I would sing this bullshit, and then one time I showed up kind of fucked.
No.
You know what? I was so pissed at them because I was Lutheran, and there was a Catholic church, and they wouldn't let me get communion.
Because you're a Lutheran?
Yeah, because I didn't believe it turned into the body of Christ.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Because they couldn't see a fucking metaphor when it was in front of their face. These fucking Catholic assholes. They're so blinded by this shit.
Hey.
No, I mean, it's...
I was so pissed at them.
It is a fucked up thing.
I go, how can I be singing for you, but you won't let me be involved in the church?
Participate in that. Yeah.
That's the excuse I use for not having self-control and getting fucked.
You wanted that wine.
I did, yeah. I want to keep that buzz going.
You just wanted a sip of that wine that everyone's sipping out of. That's what's nasty about it.
Would you do the cup? Would you drink right out the cup?
I absolutely did. Also,
Lips on lips.
we were drinking out of that cup. I'm sorry. I was in kindergarten and Episcopal school through 5th grade getting fucking wine.
Yes.
Like alcohol. You can't be giving a 5-year-old alcohol.
That is some wild shit.
Once a week? I think we got communion once a week.
Wow.
Yeah, that's insane.
Once a week, you were turning it up.
That wine is fucking terrible, though.
Yeah.
It tastes like vinegar.
I loved it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
I'm remembering the taste of it being
too.
that was delicious.
It felt so powerful to be able to drink the wine. Yeah, I loved that. Well, now I don't anymore. There we go.
There it is.
Well, but I do. I think you know what? I bet you gospel musicians are very talented.
They are. I bet you.
Oh my God,
we know.
that was a very smart statement, Sebastian.
Wow.
Whatever. I don't care. I don't care.
Is there any rift or does your mom still kind of obsess about the fact that you don't go to church? My mom definitely worries about me in that way a lot.
So here's something I'm going to tell you is that my mother does not know.
Okay.
Wow.
None of it. She
knows none of it.
Knows none of it.
You go to church when you go back home?
Yeah, but I do try to be strategic sometimes and go home where I don't have to go to church a lot. This is a podcast my parents won't be able to listen to, but
still promote it, just hide it from them.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, I haven't talk to them about it. I mostly because again there are elements of things that I still agree with, and I also just think if it works for them and they like it, and they're also so much older, it just doesn't feel right to I don't condemn it, and I don't think what they're doing is ultimately leading to anything bad, and I don't think that I think there's evangelical Christians who are also involved in politics, and I think that shit is bad and crazy.
Yes.
But I don't think that my parents are contributing to that, and that their belief system is positive and fine. But yeah, no, my mom, I really never it feels coming out a little in a way, but not exactly, because I know that's a bigger deal. But it also just does feel like there's a secrecy and there's oh, I don't want you to be disappointed because I'm gonna tell you this thing that you believe in so much that I don't feel the same way about.
Do you feel weight about that secret when you go home?
I used to. I used to feel it a lot more. I think as I get more like independent from them, it feels more and more like, well, if they found out, it'd be fine. But like, I don't know if my parents know that I like have sex. That's like something that I'm like, who knows?
That sounds like they're pretty like, they're not like super involved or preoccupied with your life, which is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Because my parents, my mom in particular, it's like, I won't
constantly asking Patrick if she's having
I'm on the phone with my mom right now. I'm on the phone with my mom right now, and she's saying, are you having sex? And then she's saying, you're married, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I like brought my my now ex-boyfriend, but boyfriend home a while back, and it was like he couldn't stay in the same bed as me,
Absolutely.
in the same room as me, and like I was like, oh, okay.
Did you ask if he could, or it was just give it?
I would never ask.
Yes.
You never. It was
never. I would never ask.
So how was that communicated to you?
It was like, so this is where he will stay. It's like I made the bed for him, and I was like, oh, okay. So then that's where he will be.
Yeah,
These are the rules.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I bet you. Do you think your parents like don't ask, like don't like pry because they don't want to know the truth?
That could be it, because but I also just feel like neither of my parents like saved themselves till marriage, you know? And I don't know that that's what they expect of me.
Right.
But maybe it is, but I also think that's a crazy thing to do.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you don't need to do it.
Imagine you marry somebody and then you go to hook up and it's just like the worst.
Yeah, I
know.
know.
No physical attraction to the person.
Yeah. You gotta.
Have to. This is a PSA. Get it done.
You gotta test it out.
You got it.
See how it's gonna be.
You don't buy a fucking car without jumping in that driver's seat.
Absolutely not.
You gotta make sure that horn's loud. Beep beep. Now we're talking. Traffic talk. Here we go.
35 north, 45 minutes north of Dallas. Here we go. What's the exit?
Oh God, I wish I knew.
But I totally, that's like hard. I remember the first time someone came to my house and slept in a bed with me with my parents like were like, oh yeah, that's okay. I felt weird.
Yeah.
I remember before I was married, we were staying at like a friend's house, and it was very clear that we were staying in the same bed. But my mom was like, she went to Emily, and she was like, make sure that my son's treating you respectfully.
Wow.
Okay.
That's fucking serious.
Wow.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is. And you know.
Well, you know what? She like that night, I treated her with more respect than I have. I'm usually cursing at her left and right. You know what I mean?
Oh my God,
Good Lord.
Oh my
no.
God. No, yeah. So your parents just they don't need to know, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like,
No.
I had such a terrible experience when I got a tattoo. It's a wild tattoo, but I got a tattoo.
What's the tattoo? What's the tattoo? You gotta tell us.
You need to drop it.
I don't know.
You gotta
Who
tell
knows?
us now.
I mean, who knows? I mean, look, let me just tell the first part and then I'll come back.
Okay.
So I got a tattoo. I got this tattoo. Whatever. And then I like felt immediately like, oh my God, I have so much guilt and shame. This is so bad. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible person. So then I was just like, I have to tell my mom. And like, I got dropped off from like, hanging out with my friend, and I had told my mom I was just like hanging out with this girl, but I was actually going to get a tattoo with her.
And how old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay.
And I had just come home for like a second from college to
Yeah.
like surprise one of my friends for a show she was doing, whatever. I told my mom, and she was like, she's like so like clearly so like sad and disappointed.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I talk to the girls at work and their kids go off to school. She said, I never thought you'd be like one of those kids.
Oh man.
And she's like, but I guess you are.
Oh my God. That's brutal.
My God.
It gutted me. And I was just like, I can never disappoint my mother ever again.
Does the guilt and shame still mess with you about like certain things in your life? Are you still like, are they hard for like, I know that I still have like guilt over tons of stuff that like I wouldn't be considered okay.
I mean, yeah, I like feel like I still do sometimes, but less and less, and mostly just in response to how I think my parents would react to it.
Yeah.
Less about how I feel and see my own life.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna live it, I'm gonna do whatever, but like, oh, if my parents found out that I did this kind of thing, why does that still hold weight over me? But it does.
Whenever I'm in a Dwayne Reed just fucking shoving candy bars in my pocket, stealing candy bars, I feel I feel terrible, and it's like it's only because I'm like my mom would hate it. Bars? Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. I have no guilt around my mom.
Yeah.
Because I think she puts so much guilt on me on a daily basis that the shit's not real no more.
You can't,
Yeah.
I just can't. It's so weird because our relationship is guilt. So then when I'm not with her, there's no guilt.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's selfish or I only care. I don't know what that is.
Do you think your parents would take issue with? I totally fucking forgot what I was going to ask.
Do they like what you do?
Do they like what I like comedy and stuff? Yeah. I mean,
that's not a disappointment, right?
Been very supportive of the fact that I wanted to pursue a career in like something creative ever since I was little. Like I started performing. I mean, yeah, I started performing, obviously doing like plays at church and then doing plays at school and then doing like, I did this choir called the Texas Children's Choir that was like, they'd perform around the state.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. And we would just like do stuff and like they were supportive of that and taking dance classes,
The church has a lot of opportunities for performers.
Yeah. It was,
gospel musicians.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Fun
but
fact.
they were all about that.
Yeah. And then like in high school, I did musicals and they would come to all of them.
What musicals?
What musicals did we do? We did Cats. We did what is it called? Once Upon a Mattress.
I did that Once Upon a Mattress.
Yes.
Who'd you play?
I played Winifred.
Winifred?
Yes.
Hell yeah, getting the lead.
Yes.
Oh, whoa.
Well, she had to give me the lead after she wasn't going to give it to me for the main fall musical. It's something I hold still.
Right, what was the main?
The main fall musical was White Christmas, and it would have been Hello Dolly. Okay, now look. Okay, it was supposed to be Hello Dolly.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. The other teacher told me it was going to be Hello Dolly,
and you were going to be Dolly.
He was fighting for me for Hello Dolly so that I could be Dolly.
And you prepped for Hello Dolly.
I was getting so pumped. And then she was just like, no, I don't think we have the cast for it and blah, 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 which is just like bullshit.
Yeah.
She's just like racist. So she's so racist. I don't give a fuck. I would say her name, but like I won't, but like she's a racist. Anyone from my high school knows she only paired me with black people when we had to do pairings.
No.
That's insane.
She like refused to see me in real lead roles. I played the black cat in Cats.
Oh my
Did
God.
you know there was a black cat?
No,
Yeah, well, there's only, I guess, one black person can play the black cat.
Oh my God.
God.
That's fucking crazy.
And I loved her. I was obsessed with her. She was my idol. My God.
The racist woman.
Yes,
you wanted
of course.
You wanted approval from
Yes.
Yeah.
And
horrible.
also it was like I was doing, like she was like passionate about theater and musical theater specifically, that like it was really exciting for me.
Yeah.
And like I'd never been in an environment like that except for like a little earlier before. And I was just like, yes. And she would like really try to get really big, beautiful sets. And like her husband, who like worked in a different school district, would like come every day and like work with us. And her husband was incredible. I love her husband. I think he's still great. He is not racist. On record, not racist husband, racist teacher. Yeah. And also turned a full blind eye to, now this is just a different road, but she just turned a full blind eye to somebody who had been like sexually assaulted in the theater community and like in our like high school, and just like really called it a very boys will be boys situation, which is like something I didn't learn until after I had graduated high school.
Yeah, you didn't know it wasn't okay.
Yeah.
Because you weren't taught it wasn't okay.
Well, I had no idea that she did that. No one
really?
even
I
told
see.
me.
I see.
I just
Wow.
like, it was just like, I remember her and this one person having like problems.
Yeah.
And I did not know that she was like turning a blind eye to it. My high school was like kind of fucked up though. There was a lot of weird shit going on.
Can you think of a...
I just was like thinking about it.
Oh, wait, we
I was
forgot
like,
about the tattoo.
No. I don't
You don't have to tell us.
You don't have to tell
I
us.
mean, listen, it's just, and you know what?
Wow,
It's corny.
you came in hot. I'm not going to cut anything.
I know.
No
Remember
holds
that
barred.
talk? No, please don't talk. We don't got to talk.
Yeah, we don't have to talk
No,
about it.
I know. But like, I think the thing is, I like saying, here's the thing, and I feel bad for anyone who's going to listen to this, but I will tell
Me
you
too.
guys.
I always feel
Here's
bad.
the thing, I will tell you guys after we finish recording
Of course.
it,
Yeah.
but I don't want to put it out because I think I like it still as a mystery about me.
Yeah?
I like that too.
Because it's kind of wild.
Can you think of like a part in middle school, like from a Christian play that you were like, I got to book fucking Moses or whatever?
Oh man, you know what? We did this wild play in middle school that was like, like modern Scrooge. Like,
oh my God!
Yes,
it was like modern.
Wait, from a conservative perspective, I wonder what that looks like.
I think it was actually called Ebenezer! Exclamation point.
Yes, just first name,
Holy
more
shit.
casual but more aggressive.
And I think I was playing like a very sexual character.
And you were
like
in middle school.
In middle school, like this very like hot, sexy girl, like, which really lined up for me because I've been horny since I was in 4th grade. Like literally, it was a problem. I used to print out porn. Like, it was,
Oh my God.
but like, I remember it was like some sexy play.
What the fuck? That's so crazy. It's like
it's really messed up.
modern fucking Scrooge. It's like where is the sexy part in a Christmas Carol?
I don't remember. I just remember my character was sexy, which is strange. This school is so weird. They like only taught creationism, which was okay. So this school is also way different than my elementary school because like my elementary school was kind of low key progressive and would like teach about world religions and like was really open like to dialogue and whatever, even though they were Episcopalian. But this like other school, like they were like only creationism in school, like literally did not learn about real science. And then
That's insanity.
and then
so
I
crazy.
remember I was like one day I was like reading Harry Potter in school, which oh my God, Harry Potter was like a real point of contention for me and my mother for a long time. But I was reading Harry Potter after finally fighting with her for like years about being able to read it. And so I was proud. And
Was it worth it?
Oh, absolutely. So I'm reading the book in class, and one of my friends is like, "Hey, you can't have that book out." I was like, "You can't have that book out." I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "It's fine." And they're like, "No, you'll get in trouble. If the teachers see you with that book, they will take it." And I was like, "Are you kidding?"
That's insane.
That's like, what are they like? Are they just like worried about like people becoming a witch or something? Like, I don't even.
Actually, though, I think that is
what it
Really?
is.
I think it is. Like, I mean, and here, this is coming from somebody that still finds certain things like a little too close to the devil.
Yeah.
Like there'll be times when I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna like if somebody put if you put a Ouija board out right
hell
now,
yeah.
I'd be like, nope,
Yep.
let's move right along.
100%.
I'm not messing with spirits. That's
Really?
messing with Satan. We about to get something out of here.
I
And I don't
100%
even like,
agree. I'm not
I don't
fucking with
fully
the-
believe in Satan, but I'm just like, he's there and he's in that board. I'm not touching it.
Sure.
Like I felt that way a little bit when somebody like read my like tarot.
Yeah.
I was like, like maybe like that's the devil. Like the devil's about to creep.
See, I'm better about tarot cards, but Ouija boards, I'm like, I could never, because it's like, why even?
Why test it?
Why
It's
fuck
a
with it?
fucking game.
No, it's not.
It's like, are you worried about Monopoly?
Why?
You are inviting spirits into this world. If you have the option of maybe inviting a spirit
Yes.
into your life
Exactly.
and for sure not doing it,
Yes.
don't do it
Don't
every
do it.
time.
Yeah.
What if you're a spirit and you're just going, please, I
You
hope-
know it's only the bad ones that fuck with Ouija.
Yeah,
You
there's
know
no,
it's
it's
only
at
the
least-
bad
at
ones.
good ones playing a fucking Parker
At
Brothers
least
game.
only the trashy ones. At
Exactly.
minimum, maybe not the bad ones, but the real scum, you know?
What's going on? They're playing Ouija down there.
Like I don't think Harry Potter is turning people into like Wicca or whatever,
Sure.
but
Also, Wicca is like a normal thing.
Yeah.
It's like Wicca is a fine, it's like just a quote unquote pagan religion. It's
Yeah.
a normal religion. It's a
not like
religion.
the Church of the Devil.
Absolutely
Church of
not.
Satan.
no. But also the Church of Satan, aren't they like kind of chill?
Yeah, they are chill. They're not. It's like most of it is just like take care of yourself.
Right.
Right.
But,
I don't know that
do as thou wilt, basically.
Yeah.
Like there was they're suing the Church of Satan suing that new show Sabrina
No.
for
Why?
stealing their symbol. Yeah, they're suing them.
Oh.
Wow.
Like
Hey.
copying their symbol.
Gotta get paid.
Hey, we all gotta get paid, okay?
Yeah, that's what
If
I'm
you
talking
gotta sue Sabrina, do whatever you gotta do.
Fucking
man.
passing the collection at the Church of Satan. They're not getting much.
No, Church of Satan collection plate must be sad as shit.
Absolutely. It is like paper clips and quarters, for sure.
You know people throw their fucking Reese's wrappers in that shit.
Yeah, do as thou wilt. I'm not
Right.
giving you shit.
Yeah, and you know that one idiot that throws $1 and that shit's not making two
Right.
passes.
Grab it right out. You gave it
Shit is
to
fucking
me.
being stolen
Oh my
left and right.
God.
There's fucking. They gotta nail shit down in the church.
Dude's first day here. What a fucking moron. Threw a bucket. What a fucking idiot. We are out of stupid ass. Oh, actually, you gotta throw another one in. You know?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Wow.
But, yeah. So
I'm trying to think of other stuff besides Ouija boards, but Ouija boards for sure. I'm not.
Yeah, no. I don't know if they're. Yeah, I don't know if they're. Tarot is like feels a little more chill, but Ouija, I think it's. Or if you were like a seance.
Yes.
I don't think I would fuck with a seance.
I wouldn't either.
how often are you walking into a seance?
Okay. I don't need this like judgment of like, oh, Rachel, when are you even running into these things? I fully got invited to a seance
Wow, you did?
recently.
Really?
And
Okay.
what'd you
I
say?
said absolutely not. Now this wasn't a personal invite. This was like a Facebook invite, I think. But like still,
They're doing a Facebook invite for a seance?
yeah.
Wow.
And I said absolutely not.
Sure.
I'm not trying to invite anything back.
Yes.
If it left, let it be gone.
Why risk it?
No.
I
And
like
what if
that.
it comes into me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my
Your idea of what spirits are is so funny. It literally is a cartoon from the 20s where it goes inside you. Hello, I am Rachel now. Hello. Oh, I lit a couple of candles.
Oh shit. We got to get out of here. Sebastian is possessed.
Look, you don't know. You don't know.
You're right. I don't know.
Why risk it?
Yeah, why risk it? When you can have a definite no or a maybe yes, always go with the definite no.
I'll tell you this. When I'm alone in a room, I don't feel alone.
Yeah.
There we go.
Have you
And
ever had
maybe it's because I'm fucking with all this shit.
Yeah, it is. You got something walking around with you.
Hello.
Yes.
You know, I might.
Absolutely. They're over here somewhere
They're
chilling.
I hope it's my grandpa.
Maybe.
Oh, stop like that. That was too serious.
There we
You
go.
also Sebastian's full of shit because you get scared about this shit too.
I do get scared. I do, but I try to step
Interesting.
into it. I do get scared. 'Cause-
I'm not stepping in.
No.
The water's fine amongst the living.
I remember I remember we were on a tour once and I brought up the fact that Bob Dylan was in an interview on 60 Minutes. Maybe I talked about this on the show
Yes, they sold
before.
the soul to the devil.
He said he alluded that he sold his soul to the devil, and I was telling Sebastian about it. He was like, no. He was like, I can't hear about
I
this.
think we already, you know, I told you, we already talked about this. Why I'm scared of that is because of how weak I am. Because if the devil came to me,
we did talk about it.
If
Yeah.
the devil came to me, I'd sign away my life in a second.
Right.
I have no fucking
For what?
self-control.
For what?
For anything, dude. I sell away for a chicken palm hero. I am a weak man, and I'm trying to get stronger every day.
Yeah.
And I'm a weak man.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of the spirits being around me. I'm scared of temptation.
Yeah.
Right? Like when Jesus was in the desert for 40 days,
Yeah.
I would have been out in fucking 2 hours. I'd be like, you got a cup of water over there, Mr. Devil? I would have been out in a minute.
Oh my God.
I'm weak.
No.
I am, Rachel.
No.
I literally wrote, this is so fucked. This is the craziest thing. Strong is making the choices that are good for you more often than not.
That's not weak though.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
I know, but
You have to do work. Like
a strong person doesn't need to carry around a piece of paper.
Bullshit.
No,
Bullshit.
no,
Did you,
no,
wait,
no,
Rachel,
no.
could you believe that I just pulled out a piece of paper
Sebastian.
talking about how
Yeah, that's being aware of your own ability,
Absolutely.
which is a strength.
And impulse control is not something that is, that's just something that you're powerless over that shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I know for a fact that like I am powerless over A, B, or C or whatever.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
people, the shit they're powerless over just works for them. Mine is not. Mine will take me out.
Yeah, mine will take. No, mine just slowly is gonna kill me.
Yeah.
I can't believe, but that's why I'm scared of the devil, because I know that shit.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that where this is gone.
I love that it's like, God, I don't know, but the devil for sure exists.
Isn't that
I
fucked
don't
in the
believe
head?
that shit at all. I don't believe that the devil exists at all.
Did you believe in the devil?
Did I believe in
Or
the
do
devil?
you? Do you?
Do I currently? No, I don't know. If
Yeah, you went from no to I don't know.
Listen, here's what I know. I think okay. I believe
I don't
that
believe in hell. I don't believe in the devil.
I believe that there is like spiritual, like I don't know.
There's
I
a
think
spiritual
like,
world.
There might be. I don't know.
I think there
that
is.
There's probably
Sure.
like spirit shit happening. Like how do you explain? Like I got into this weird like long conversation with a bunch of people recently where it was like they were each talking about their own kind of like experience
Yes.
with seeing like ghosts
Yes.
and like it felt very real, like in a way that like, and the conversation was like very like private and like with the assumption that like you're trusting me, I'm trusting you with this information, and it's like, oh whoa, I've never had something like that personally, but it does feel like, well, maybe. And like, does that mean there's some other...
I mean, the vast majority of human beings have believed in spirituality since the beginning of time. Like, it's a very much a phenomenon of comfort. Like having comfort in the world and being safe in the world.
And people that believe in science, in my opinion, that's a comfort too. Like,
yeah. You could believe in both.
I think,
of course, and you should believe in both.
I think a belief in both makes the most sense.
Yes, me too. I believe in both.
Because I feel like there's like I don't know. I don't want to be completely closed off to the idea of like mystery and like some kind of like weird thing. Like even if it's not my whole like existence doesn't feed off of that, it is kind of like a nice thing to be like, well,
yeah, because you can't.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah, it's not falsifiable, but love isn't falsifiable either.
The one thing I do know is I don't know.
Yes,
exactly.
That's the one thing I do know.
You know what's crazy is that's what faith means. Mm-hmm. Faith means like I don't know. I can't. I it's like I feel like.
So then
this.
why do people take it so fucking serious?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy because people take it. Then they're like, I do know, and these are the rules.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's like, no, actually, it means I don't know. It means I think maybe. I think maybe.
Yeah, making rules for something, also making such harsh rules for something that never had that kind of system around it to begin with.
Absolutely not. No, and that's the thing is like I actually would consider myself a Christian, but it's like it wouldn't make sense to most people who consider themselves Christian. I don't think because it's just like I just think that Jesus was like I just think you can't argue with the Sermon on the Mount. You just can't argue with that. It's like, blessed are the poor in spirit. Essentially what he's doing...
I thought he was going to do it.
Essentially what it is like, the power system of this world, like in terms of money, accolades, and all that stuff. He's like, what I value is your weakness. Come to me in your weakness. Come to me in your poverty. Come to me. That I'm here for you. Mm-hmm. Right? And that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. And like, I just can't... I feel like I can't argue with that, or just the basic shit of like love your neighbor.
Sure. Well, that's just good life.
Yeah.
That's like good living because it only makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Too. Mm-hmm. Like that's like the giving back stuff. You realize, making people feel nice feels good for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm so.
And that's also just not specific to Christianity too. That's like loving kindness meditation. It's like the same exact thing. It's like that's what's creepy to me about, not creepy, but that's why I believe in like spirituality because it's all so similar. When you come down to the practice, the day-to-day practice of it, it's very similar. Like Christians have contemplative prayer, Buddhists have meditation. There's different practices that are incredibly similar for people having like gone in completely separate directions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a pamphlet.
Whoa.
I took a class in college, Islam, because it was like the one religion I didn't know about. Because I grew up around a lot of Jewish people. I grew up around a lot of Christian people. But then I took the class, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
There's a dude, Rumi, I think he's like a Sufi mystic, and it's so inspiring. Like, it's like, this dude's a Muslim and he's saying exactly the same thing as the Christian teachers that I like. You know what I mean? Like it's all that's like the good version of it is all the same.
Yes, the good version. Because
the good version.
Because I'm sure as soon as I said that, I was like worried. I was like, I'm sure there's so many people out there being like, it's not the same at all, right?
Right.
Yeah, because there's obviously
so
much
like
bad
ways,
shit.
Yeah, there's ways in which they divert and like make different interpretations about certain things, but at its core, it's like trying to make sense of our reality by putting like, I don't know, like it's all like the same kind of thing that has grown from like we've always been trying to make sense of like what is going on outside of us
from
like
phrase.
the Greeks and like with
sure.
how the many different gods, and then we look at that and we're like, that's so silly. There's only one. Like that's so crazy.
That is so funny that we're like, what a weird thing that to have a lot of gods. It's like, no, it doesn't.
No, but it's actually really impressive that they were like, oh, there's so many different gods who rule over these different aspects of life.
Yeah,
that's like incredible. Like, that's kind of nice that you would pray to a god of this because you need help with this.
Yes. I mean, the fucking Catholics have that with the saints.
With the saints, yeah. They have the patron saint of this one, the patron saint of that one.
Yeah, it's just not as... They rank
we don't call them gods.
Yes.
You can't have the fucking wine, Sebastian, so just stay the fuck... stay the fuck out.
I like what you said. It's just making sense of our reality.
Yeah.
That's a nice... If we did titles to an episode... That would be a good title, but we don't fucking do that shit.
Oh, you don't do titles? Why don't you do a title?
No, we don't.
For me, Sebastian, come on. Why don't you do a title?
Wait, you think I'm doing any of this work?
Oh, you're doing the titles. I know you're doing the titles.
You think I'm good?
I know you're doing the titles. You're going tip, tip, type. You're making the titles.
You see me type of.
I see you type. You're always saying tip, 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 tip.
It's kind of annoying when you're typing in a room with me.
I know.
We work together. Sometimes we write stuff together.
That's why I get no work done.
Each key you press.
I know. Yeah,
Rachel, thank you so much for coming on the show. This was great. This was such a good conversation.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
It was fun to talk to you. We bullshit, but it's nice to hear. I didn't know so much about you.
Hey.
Do you have anything you want to plug?
Do I have anything I want to plug?
Your Instagram or your...
Oh, right. Yes. Hell yeah. My
yeah.
Instagram. My Instagram is at I am Rachel Pegram.
Nice. That's awesome.
And my Twitter is just at Rachel Pegram.
Nice.
So those are places.
Someone got the Rachel Pegram on Instagram?
Now, listen. That was my former sister-in-law. Now, Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. I know you're trying to wrap it up, but
let's do this. Let's do it.
So this is a woman that I grew up with. She was a part of our family.
Don't cut this. This is the thing you're saying. Don't cut.
She was a part of our family and like very beloved. Her name's Rachel, and she became a Pegram upon marriage. Okay. Now, then, they got divorced. He has a new wife, or is he married with her? No, he's married. They eloped. They weren't invited to the wedding. Anyways, so I wasn't involved in the wedding. I wasn't invited. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm kind of hurt by it. You know who you are, brother. But so on Instagram, I had the handle at Rachel Pegram. All right. Okay. And then one day I was just like, oh, maybe I will change it because I see people change their things or whatever. Yeah. And so I changed it one day. And then I was like, no, I'd rather just keep it to my name. And I never had problems. There's not that many Rachel Pegrams. Sure. So I was just like, it'll be fine. I'll change it back. No, Instagram handle not available. It's like, what? How? I changed it 2 days ago. They already took it 2 days. How?
2 days?
2 days. And so then I was okay, let me try again. No, can't have it. And I'm like, who has my handle? I go and look. And I see it's her. She has my handle. She has my handle. And she also has another handle. And she's not using either of them. Wow. Not using. And there's no post. She
2
has
days,
followers.
which means she's just checking for that handle.
She wanted.
She's checking for the
handle.
handle.
Was this when she was married?
No.
This is divorce?
This is divorce.
She's got the name still.
She still has the name. She's still keeping the name. She has her maiden name she has on her other handle, but on this handle it's just Rachel Pegram.
That's personally. She's personally attacking you.
No, please.
Fuck Rachel Pegram.
No,
please don't say that about her.
No, please. I only thought it was funny because it's your name. So I don't know anything. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Explain the joke to you that I just did.
No. I'm not okay, Rachel. If you're listening to this, Sebastian is coming for you. He hates you. He said fuck you, not fuck me. No. So that's all to you. No.
2 days is crazy to me.
It was so wild. And then I was like, should I reach out to her about it? But I literally haven't talked to her since I was a kid. I don't speak to her. And then also at one point on Facebook, she was going out and requesting my friends. And it was like requesting to be friends with them. And one of my friends was like, hey, Rachel, is this you? Did you make up this account? And I was like, no. I was like, that is my old sister-in-law.
You know what?
Why is she adding you on Facebook?
It's weird because when I went to your IMDb, there's pictures of somebody completely different.
Oh my God, if it's her, kill me. Taking my life.
She's booking also like crazy.
Yeah, congrats to Rachel. We're having her on next week.
I don't know. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. She doesn't live here and she doesn't do comedy. She should be here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, she's going to talk about how she wants to do comedy.
Cool. We love that.
I probably mentioned this before. The dude who has at Patrick Noth is never like his selfie game is crazy. He loves it. Like he's like in the mirror. I'm like, I'm never getting this handle from this guy.
He's got a good bod.
He's got a fucking great body.
Wow, no, you're not getting it back.
No, you're not. He's doing mirror selfies.
Yeah,
no. So I'm Patrick Noth with a 0. Is that good?
Yeah.
That's okay, right? Noth with a 0.
Is it consistent across
No.
Twitter? Yeah, mine isn't either.
Twitter's just my name.
Yeah.
That's hard.
You're not online?
I should check.
I am, but I don't use it. Yeah.
Hop in the water.
I have tried. You know what? I don't get the bug that everyone gets.
The wanting the likes?
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't feel that at all.
Really?
You know, I don't anymore, and it's weird now because I don't want to do as much because I'm like, I kind of got I weaned myself off of them, and now I'm like, oh, I don't want to participate. Is that fucked up? I was just participating in a way that was completely self-serving.
No, I mean, I truly do it because I don't want to be forgotten. Like, I'm just like, because I also feel like there are people who just get booked on things, on shows and whatever, just because they're just like,
100%.
oh, I see this person. So, I should book them.
100%.
So sometimes I'll just be like, all right, I'm just posting because I want to be in your brain.
Well, you know what I do? I'm just loud and obnoxious anytime someone sees me in person. And then they think, what an asshole he was for the next fucking week that they think about me.
You know what? We need an asshole. We need to cast an asshole.
Yeah, we need someone that's going to make us look better on this show.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Hey, whatever works for.
Thank you.
So I am Rachel Pegram on Instagram.
On Instagram. I am Rachel Pegram.
Cool. And shows coming up?
Any shows coming up? I got a show this Thursday.
Cool.
That I'm doing a lo-fi. It's my sketch team show at Union Hall.
Union Hall, what time?
10.
Nice. That's awesome.
This will come out
on Thursday.
Wow.
So then people, if you listen, just go to the show.
So go
right
away.
Listen on the way to the show.
Go tonight. Go to the show right now.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
What time is it right now? Go to the show.
Yeah. Go buy a ticket. Or don't. Show up.
Yeah, pause the podcast, watch Rachel.
If you really want to comp, you can hit me up.
Ooh.
We'll see what we can do.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
I love that.
We'll see what we
You know you're getting a message request from somebody.
If it's close to showtime, hop in a cab.
Yeah.
Get a lift line.
Rachel will pay for your cabs.
Hold on.
She'll pay for your dinner. She'll pay for your cabs. If you're out of town, she'll throw you up. She'll throw you up in a hotel.
I don't know about all that. I mean, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it for anyone that asks.
Yes.
Just ask and I'll
get
do
that
it.
Uber. Keep the receipt. Yeah. You can also take the BQE. Oh, here we go.
Now we're talking. 10 o'clock, you can hop on the BQE.
No problem.
No problem at all. You know when you don't want to fuck with it? 2 a.m.
No, not at all.
The BQE's a mess.
2 a.m.?
2 a.m. The BQE's a mess. You'll be in dead stop traffic.
But you know when it's beautiful? 5.
Oh, yeah.
5 a.m. You're cruising. You're going straight to LaGuardia. Nothing is stopping you.
Nothing better. The sun coming up on the New York City.
Absolutely.
The New York City skyline. Oh.
Yeah. Well, this has been Highway Talk. Sponsored by the Verrazano Bridge. Please tune in every week.
Yeah, now $25 just to get to Staten Island.
We're at Who You Were Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Follow us. Please like and subscribe. Yeah. Also, it takes time, so donate at patreon.com/Patrick Noth. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, Patrick puts a lot of...
Give me $1 a month.
He puts a lot of sweat into this shit. Mm-hmm. Help the dude out. Come on, I'm tired of hearing him complain.
All right, thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening to Who You Were. Please subscribe, rate, and review. Guest before and after pics on Instagram at Who You Were Podcast. Send your before and after pics to whouYouWerePodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at Who You Were Podcast. This podcast is produced independently. If you'd like to support it, please visit patreon.com/Patrick Noth. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.